wrestling fans, you got the show Bill Schuyler here at One Wrestling Presents Total Impact Wrestling Rewind for October 6th, 2016. This is the follow-up show to the monumental, groundbreaking Bound for Glory 2016 this past Sunday. If you have not seen it, you still have the opportunity to get that pay-per-view, and it is worth whatever you have to do to see it. The Great War, Bobby Lashley, ECIII, Gail Kim, Hall of Fame, title match against Maria Kanellis. Oh my goodness, so much going on at Bound for Glory. Tremendous, tremendous pay-per-view. We open up with Bobby Lashley coming to the ring, cutting a promo talking about the importance of his title, how he is the man, he is the greatest champion in the world, he is undefeatable, and there's nobody out there able to touch him. Then the champions of the company all make their way down one by one, talking about how great their titles are and the importance of them. You get ARON coming down with the Grand Championship, basically saying he should be next in line for a title shot against the world champion. Lashley not really feeling that. Gail Kim putting forth that this is the time for the women. Women's wrestling is changing the industry right now, and the guys had better get used to the fact that the girls are here, and they're here to make a difference in the company. Get DJZ coming down saying how each and every title is different in its way, and everything helps basically to complement and build the company up. And not to be forgotten, we have the tag team champions represented at this point here by Broken Matt Hardy, his wife Reby Sky Hardy, and their son, young King Maxwell. The crowd breaking out in chants for Maxwell. It was a cool thing. You have Broken Matt Hardy, of course, going into his entire broken repertoire of deletes and obsoletes, and basically looking to point out that the Hardys and the Great War and the feud with Decay and everything that's occurred coming from their end of the TNA roster has helped put the company back up where it is, giving it a name, putting it in another universe besides the one that it is. Just great stuff by Matt Hardy. Billy Corgan makes his way out after Lashley states that he is leaving, going back home to train, and he'll see everybody in about 3 weeks or so once they have his opponent lined up for him. Lashley finds out that tonight he will have an opponent. He will have the option picking one out of 3 opponents, that being Moose, Ethan Carter III, and Eddie Edwards, and Corgan tells him to pick wisely. All the championships will be defended except for the X Division, because that champion will be involved in a new match titled Team X Gold, created by DJZ and Billy Corgan. Gail Kim will be defending her title, ARON defending his, and the Hardys, of course, will be involved in Wolf Creek cage match. Wolf Creek being a new television show coming on Pop TV from the former movie series called Wolf Creek, of a serial killer down in Australia. Great first film. I never saw the others. The television show looks to be pretty interesting. The cage will have all types of weapons and plunder hanging from it, in accordance to weapons and of the like that this serial killer in the Wolf Creek has used and does use for destroying and killing his victims. Kind of grisly stuff there for the kids, but it is what it is. This is not necessarily the PG era for Impact Wrestling. We then open up with our first match, which is Team X Gold. It's a 6-man X Division Tag Team Series with strict rules in place where you will be disqualified for having, say, you tag in and the other guy does not get out of the ring. No 5 count. You immediately get to, basically, they're not putting up with anything. This match was outstanding. I thought it allowed us to see each and every one of these individuals and how they represent the X Division in their own styles. Now, we had DJZ, Mandrews, and Braxton Sutter going up against the Helms Dynasty of Trevor Lee, Marche Rocket, and Andrew Everett. Andrew Everett and Trevor Lee have been tearing up Impact Wrestling for over a year. Great tandem here that hasn't really been getting their due and truly deserves eventually to get their shots at the gold. This is a team that, in my opinion, should have gold, and I'd like to see the company really improve their tag team division, something they haven't really been pushing other than the main star with the Decay and the Hardys. We'll see where that leads coming in the future. I don't know Corgan's views on tag teams. I mean, he is a hardcore wrestling fan. I would hope and pray that tag teams are on the man's mind. As he's started to build up the Knockouts division again and getting that going, big smart decisions there, and then continuing to push and get the main roster rolling for that world title plus the grand championship. Pardon me. Little libation is something to get the throat ready to go. Now, this, again, absolutely high-flying, brawling, scientific, small speed, and then a big man like Marche Rocket, who stood out well above his cohorts and opponents in this match. And it was really cool to see a big man in there, reminding me of how it was with Samoa Joe when he came in. And you had some other big wrestlers that had went in the X Division, and Marche seems to really be improving and growing as a star here in TNA. We wound up Mandrews hitting the top turnbuckle shooting star press on Andrew Everett for the 1, 2, and the 3, and the winner would be Team DJZ via the shooting star press by Mandrews. Again, killer match, loved it. We then, of course, we have a Fact of Life episode with Eli Drake. He has a complete set, brand new, set up to look, sort of like the Tonight Show, with the desk and the guest, and he had a fantastic guest, a guest that was going to bring a lot of intensity to the evening. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about ECIII, Ethan Carter III, former TNA World Heavyweight Champion. And Eli Drake is not too thrilled with a certain EC3, saying that he had a rocket shoved straight up his keister so far that he should be able to have tasted rocket fuel, yet he got it and got it to the main event and had his shot at the world title and blew it. That he didn't have what it took to become champion again, despite having that silver spoon per se in his mouth. He could not get the job done, yet here he is doing what he has to do, clawing and fighting and cheating and lying and doing everything to get title shots, work his way in. Great promos going back and forth between them. Carter, talking about how he trained solid for a year with passion and desire to be the world champion, but the passion died and has been replaced by anger. And he just wants to destroy his opponent, and he's going to basically scorch the earth to get that title shot. And he wants to know how, Eli Drake's going to sit here on his dumbass show and talk smack to him with his dirt beard and his bug eyes, bound for gold. You should, instead of be worrying about hitting your buzzer for that dummy, the whole gimmick. And he was doing that to EC3, and then EC3 grabbed his hand on the button and held it there as he's going through this comment and tells him, you know what, you hit that button one more time and I will eviscerate you right here. I will tear you limb from limb and beat you to death with that very limb. And then I will take your corpse, set it on fire, and piss on it to put it out. And he looks at him and he tells him that you should be focused on nothing but the world title. And yet you sit here with your stupid button. Push it one more time. You know what? Matter of fact, I want you to push it. I dare you to push it. I get on my knees like your mother and I tell you to push that button. And Eli lifts his hand up. He goes down, his back, down, brings it back in the crowd. Push it, push it, push it. And then he just shoves it away. And then he tells him, like I said, you had everything handed to you. You came straight into this company. You ran right up the ladder, elevator to the top. And I've had to do what I had to do. But people tell me I'm not in your league. Well, basically, you're not in my league. And Eli Drake is going to make his move. And he walks off, says the show is over and it's done. Definitely great looking feud to build up here between Eli Drake and EC3. Really looking forward to it. What I want to really see, though, is them to kind of tweak down some of these Stone Cold-esque doings and sayings of Eli Drake. It's a little bit too much of a homage to the Texas Rattlesnake. But, that's really not his call necessarily. That's the people in charge. But let's see if he can get it done. Yeah, dummy. Yeah, get it done. And not have it be too annoying. Yeah. Or, just going on too long. Dummy. Yeah. But again, fantastic. Then we had the Knockouts match. We wind up with Gail Kim going up against former champion Sienna. Sienna leaves the ring with the bell goes, and Gail chases after her. Going after her, she goes for a drop kick, and Sienna takes it and basically grabs a hold of her, and she gets posted, and Gail is down. And she picks Gail up, she slams her into the apron, rolls her in the ring, beating her down in the corner with a lot of forearms. Sienna do a lot of hits, a lot of violence in this match in the short time that it was given. Sienna looking very, very dominant in this match against Gail Kim. Gail will try to get an offense going and then not be able to, and it would go back and forth. Sienna trying to get the AK-47, not able to do it. Trying to get the silencer, not able to do it. And Sienna, like I said, she was a beast, and Gail wound up in a sleeper hold. She got up out of it, and then Sienna nails her with a lariat, picks her up, goes for the AK-47. Gail gets her opening, takes to the former knockout champion, hits with a massive neck breaker. This match, really good match. Back and forth. Again, big nasty moves. Then Sienna hits the alley-oop on Gail, going face first into the mat. They get the 1-2 and a kick out, and Gail then winds up as Sienna tries to do the silencer. She dodges it and gets the roll up on Sienna for an unbelievably, just things happen like that. And it was 1-2-3. The match was over. Gail retains. I was shocked. I didn't think this was the way it was going to go. Sienna seemed really dominant. I didn't think she would win the title. I thought we'd have either a double countout or perhaps a disqualification on Sienna's end with her looking strong, beating on the champion if they were to continue a storyline here with these guys feuding. What I come to find out, and we will, is that Maria Kanellis-Bennett was not done. No, as Maria made her way down to ringside with Miss Van Ness, and they started putting the boots to Gail Kim. That's right, all three girls in there beating the living hell out of Gail Kim, mugging her for all intents and purposes. Gail out of it, Sienna picking her up, and Maria telling her that she is getting her rematch and it'll be a no disqualification, and she's going to take her title and she's going to take her career. Allie, of course, here all involved, waiting to see when this Allie character breaks and able to have the true wrestler within her come forth and take it to the boss and show everybody what she's got. Don't know if this whole thing is again a ruse on her part and she's going to become who she really is, or they're going to go on with the Allie character. We will find out. We then have our Wolf Creek cage match. 6 sides of steel with the weapons, and the Decay and the Broken Hardys are at it in war. And this was a great match. I had started having a lot of technical difficulties with the program, starting right during the Gail Kim match and now into the Wolf Creek match. And they had everything from chainsaws to staple guns, trash cans, you name it. They were using it. A grappling hook in the mouth, pulling Matt Hardy, working a great tag team. The Hardys looking like the Hardys of old in many spots, just flowing. Got to give it up for Abyss and Crazy Steve. They have turned into a fantastic tag team. Abyss kind of recreating himself in a way. So, of course, so did Steve. And with Rosemary and this entire Decay, just tremendous. And they're working very well in the ring. And this feud is just great. And these guys are beating the living hell out of each other. Different attempts to get out of the ring by Matt and then by Jeff. And Jeff goes to get up. And then out of nowhere comes Rosemary, who hits and spits him in the face with the red mist. He goes down, and Rebby Sky comes out of nowhere, grabs a hold of her, drags her down, and beats her all over the place. She's got a staff with a rabbit's head on it, and she's chasing her with it. Insanity. And then the match, it stops. Cut off. Some kind of difficulty things, and it goes to commercial. Comes back and told that the Hardys retain the titles. Come to find out, you can go to ImpactWrestling.com and you can see the entire match or just the parts that were not available at that time. I don't know if this was done on purpose to get you to go to the website, or they actually had technical difficulties like they did about a month ago during the show. And fortunately, this one didn't get so bad that they had to push and air the show later in the night. Because I continued to have difficulties with the show here on out with it freezing and then starting up. I don't know. It's something I've really not had before, and I haven't really seen on programming on Pop TV. for other shows. Wound up next with there is more than one royal family in professional wrestling. And out comes Cody and Brandy Rhodes, and the crowd is out of control. They are loving it. Cody, 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 Cody. Cody Rhodes cutting. Great promo. Just talking it out. Not yelling. Not out of control. This, doing the Cody. He's not Stardust. He's not doing any of that. He's talking about how they said he was the game changer. And he said, well, maybe it's not him, but the game itself is changing. And, he left his old house before he got kicked to the curb. And found his way here. And basically, he's had a list, which he had this list that he put out on Instagram when he left the WWE. And on that list had all the different matches and places he wanted to wrestle and people he wanted to go up against. And on that list was one Michael Bennett. That's right, the Miracle Mike Bennett, formerly of Ring of Honor. At that time, I believe he was still at Ring of Honor. I'm not positive. I forget. It's been so long. But irregardless, he was looking for Mike Bennett. Brandy whispers in his ear. Cody puts the list away and says, I should have put on the list TNA World Heavyweight Champion. Because, he goes, I'm been given a shot for the TNA World Heavyweight title. And any wrestler that tells you that they don't want to be the champ are lying through their teeth. That it's the royal jewels, it's the honor sword or something to the effect. He said it's the Oscars. It's what you want to be if you're a professional wrestler. You want to be world champion. And then out came Mike Bennett and Maria Kanellis. They're down in the ring, and Mike Bennett getting into him and telling him that, when he came here, he was told that, when he demanded his shot, you don't get that. That's not how TNA works. You got to go through a gauntlet, if you will, of opponents and work your way up to your title shot. And he had to do all that, and he's done that, and he's still been denied. And here you come, and bang, they're giving you a title shot right away. And I've had to fight. And then Cody says, fight. You want to fight? I'm ready to fight. Cody takes off his bomber jacket, tosses it. And Mike Bennett goes, no, I think you misunderstood. What I was saying was, if you're going to fight, and then Cody hits him with a right and knocks Miracle straight on his keister, and Cody gets him thrown to the ropes, comes back and gets ready and has him in for the crossroads, and Bennett drops out of it, rolls out of the ring, and takes off. I'm doing my show here, and it is lucky for him that he got out of it. They leave, off he goes. We go to commercial, and when we come back, Cody and Brandy are there, and he makes the announcement that he wanted it to be for the world title for his first match at TNA, but what it's going to be is next week on Impact Wrestling, he will have his in-ring debut match against the one, the only, the Miracle, Mike Bennett. Cody Rhodes in the ring, Mike Bennett wrestling. Awesome stuff. Cody Rhodes is a big deal coming to this company, and it really looked that way in the crowd tonight. And by the way, this Impact Zone crowd was fired up. I mean, it was wall to wall packed with real fans, real hardcore fans. I mean, these guys knew everything. They were chanting things. They were doing what needed to be saying things that had to be. Oh, it was just fantastic. Kudos to the Impact Wrestling Zone fans. Out of control. Loving it. We had the Grand Champion match. ARON Rex defending his title against the Tribunals. Baron Dax. Excuse me. This turned out to be a really outstanding match. This was Louis, formerly in NXT, in a similar French gimmick with his other partner, and both of them are here now, and they got a great tag team, and I like to see them getting involved and getting into some matches with other tag teams. But singles wrestling here, big kid, and he took it to ARON, and in that first round, he beat ARON up from pillar to post, as they say. Hit him with a hard neck breaker early on, and from that point forward, ARON was selling that neck injury throughout the match, and he continued to work that. Dax did work in that neck area, beating on the back of it, hitting him, doing everything he could, jostling that upper part of the body. I really expected, as he continued to beat on it, that he was going to go for a submission with the neck, try to get the champ to give up the title. Didn't do so, but just continued to beat him up. And beat him up he did. Champ tried to get some offense going, but he was so injured and out of it that he just could not get a good offense going. The 3-minute round was up. Judges put forth their thing. It was 27 for the champ and 30 for his opponent. The champ is now 0-1. Bell rings. Guy goes right back for it. He's doing work in the neck, goes for the neck breaker. ARON drops out of it, comes around. Kid goes down. He puts him into his Royal Arch. Basically, sharpshooter, Boston Crab, and Dax taps out. And the winner, and still Grand Champion, ARON Rex. And he continued to sell the injury to the neck, body out of it, barely able to walk. He barely got the hold in the match. He actually had fell over and had to work his way back up to hold it into it. Good moves. He's really, looks like he's got himself back in the game. And then, friends, we jump to the main event. And this, of course, is what everyone was interested in, because we had Bobby Lashley picking out Eddie Edwards as who he was going to go up against. The American Wolf, Eddie Edwards, former X Division champion, tag team champion, Ring of Honor tag team championship, tag team belts all around the world, singles titles all around the world, going up against Bobby Lashley. Lashley, who had beaten him for the X Division title. Bobby Lashley, who had beaten him after the X Division title. Eddie was the weakest of the three. Lashley was looking to have an opponent that he could just steamroll through and go home, completely overlooking Eddie Edwards. And when the match started, he just tossing Eddie around like a rag doll in the ring. No respect given, just pushing, tossing them around, and then hit him with a big power bomb as he came out of the corner. Edwards would try to do a comeback, trying to get an offense going, but just could not get it as the champ was all over him. He did get up and he slapped Lashley in the face, and the champ kind of went out of character, and with his zealousness, his almost loss of control, uh, gave Eddie a momentary chance, and he got some offense going. He got through the ropes, nailing the champ outside the ring. Goes for it a second time. Bobby moves. Boom. Guardrail. Looks like Eddie is going to be down, and the champ is going to retain once again. He goes in for the kill, gets him back in the ring, and then Eddie comes up. He hits him fast. He hits him hard with the Boston Knee Party. The champ goes down, and Bobby Lashley gets rolled up for the 1, 2, and the 3, and Eddie Edwards becomes the world champion, the world heavyweight champion. TNA Eddie Edwards has beaten the Destroyer Bobby Lashley. Oh my God, this is a complete shocker. The wrestling world has got to be thrown for a loop here as Eddie Edwards has taken the gold. What a long shot in becoming the champion. Everyone expecting his opponent was going to be either Moose or a rematch against ECIII. No, Eddie Edwards, and he overlooked the former X Division champion, and he took it to him and went and did everything he could, and the champ was not prepared, in my opinion, and he went in taking him light, and he got his bell rung, and he got he got beaten 1, 2, 3 seconds, and this long, incredible championship reign of Destroyer Bobby Lashley is over for now. What comes on next? I'm gonna have to tune in to find out. I wonder what Davey Richards is thinking about all this when he finds out. You know, his tag team partner who's out with an injury to his knee. And well, I could imagine Davey coming back and after all that and seeing that belt around his buddy and jumping into him and whooping his ass and having a feud break out between Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards for the TNA World title. That would be awesome. I would love to see that. I don't know if that's going to be the case. I'm not sure when Davey's going to be back. But I would love to see that. Fans, I know it went on a little long on this show. This show had a lot going on. You need to watch this episode if you missed it. Get on there on ImpactWrestling.com. You can watch the show. You can find it on YouTube under TNA Impact Wrestling. It is worth it. There was a lot of dialogue in this, a lot of good stuff, a lot of seeds being planted for the future, depending on which direction the company is going to go. It looks like the people that are in there now are the ones they are definitely going with. Everybody that's on that roster right now is being used at some point and juncture, which is good to see for the guys and the gals in the locker room. They're building up the Knockouts division, they're building up the tag team division, and of course they're continuing to solidify the main event slots for the world title and for the grand championship. I am the show, Bill Schuyler. Follow me at You Got the Show on Twitter. Hit up OneWrestling.com. One Wrestling, at One Wrestling on Twitter. And the boss, the man himself, the legend, Bill Apter, icon of professional wrestling. Follow him at Apter One Wrestling. If you're catching this on Friday the 7th, wish him a happy birthday to Bill Apter. And Bill, I offer you my happy birthday wishes, and everybody from Big Slam Wrestling, all put forth a happy birthday wish to you. That's Big Ray at Big Ray Show. Obi-Wan, you know me. That's right. Billy Ray Valentine. Happy birthday. FAMEBLACK at FAMEBLACK. OKAYFABE at OKAYFABE. Pharaoh of Fancy. That's right. Dirtiest in the city, 8-Track Brown, wishing you a happy birthday. And the professor himself, PROFPW Hustle, Professor Quintana. Happy birthday to Bill Apter. And big things, positivity going out there to TNA, and for all the haters and all the people saying they're not going to survive, that they were down, they were out. Every time it happens, they make their way back. They're unkillable. Stake in the heart. Nothing will stop this company. I'll see you at the matches, and I'll catch you down.